All right, kids, let's start out this video with a question for our viewers. In your opinion, who are television's greatest crime fighters? Depending on your age, you might say Mystery Inc., Charlie's Angels, or even the A-Team. Now, despite the skills and reputations of each of those organizations, sometimes some crimes, they go slipping through the cracks. But there are these two gumshoes who are picking up all the slack. In this video, we'll be celebrating pop culture's most infamous chipmunks. No, I was talking about Chip and Dale. Absolutely not. Think Rescue Rangers. So let's take a moment and celebrate Disney's dynamic duo and experience a very special Happy Meal featuring... Welcome everyone to another episode of McDonald's Unboxed, where we uncover the truth behind the fast food chain's promotional tie-ins. Do us a huge favor, click that like button, and if this is your first time checking us out, why not supersize your experience and subscribe to Retro Spectrum.
Now back to adventure with the Rescue Rangers.
Our journey begins way back in the year 1943. Oklahoma, the stage production, not the state, just became the first American musical, and kryptonite was introduced on the Superman radio show as a weakness for the Man of Steel. Uno's Pizzeria introduced the first deep dish pizza in Chicago, Illinois, and the original McDonald's in California was still most well known for their famous barbecue on the menu. This was, of course, before the speedy service system helped transform the restaurant into the hamburger giant that we all know it as today. Of course, America was in the middle of fighting World War II. This was the same year that Norman Rockwell's version of Rosie the Riveter graced the cover of the Saturday Evening Post. My second favorite Golden Girl, Bea Arthur, was one of the more than 20,000 girls to join the U.S. Marines Women Reservist. With so many men off fighting in World War II, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles had to combine forces Captain Planet style in order to create the Steagles for the 1943 season. Walt Disney's animation studio in Burbank, California was doing its part by producing films for the United States government to help support the war effort. Donald gets drafted, Minnie saves kitchen fats to help produce munitions, and Pluto, the dog, not the Roman god, must endure the hijinks of two pint-sized saboteurs. Chip and Dale proved extremely popular. They drove audiences absolutely nuts. Do you get it? They appeared in several more shorts during the 1940s and 50s. These shorts even received Oscar nominations. Squatters' Rights, Chip and Dale, and Toy Tinkers were all nominated for Best Animated Short Film. My two favorite shorts were both released in the year 1952. Mickey Mouse and Pluto discover the chipmunks living in their holiday decor in Pluto's Christmas tree. Then, Chip and Dale's first love interest, Clarice, was introduced in Two Chips and a Miss. Dell Comics started publishing the first Chip and Dale comic in 1955. That's the same year the legendary Ray Kroc opened the first McDonald's restaurant east of the Mississippi River in Des Plaines, Illinois. Chip and Dale comic books would stick around in one way or another right up through the 80s. The 80s became an interesting time for Disney animation on television. Then Disney CEO Michael Eisner was looking to move away from the low-budget animation that was so common on TV and create something special. In 1985, Disney gave us two incredible series. The Adventures of the Gummy Bears welcomed us to Gummy Glen, home of a colorful crew of bouncy bears known for magic and mystery, both part of their history, along with the secrets of gummy berry juice. I remember immediately falling in love with this cartoon and snagging all the toys from Kmart or maybe your local mall. The second series that came out in 1985 was even crazier. How many people remember the Wuzzles? If you never experienced the Zulash Goulash, let me break it down for you. Deep in the land of Wuz, they're having twice the fun, because every little thing is really two in one. Like Off the top of my head, you might combine an elephant with a kangaroo, and bam, you got an Ellaroo. Combine a bumblebee and a lion, and zippity-bop, it's a bumble-lion. Hey, here's one more. You take a hippopotamus, add a bunny rabbit, and you've got yourself a hopopotamus. 2 years later, the Disney Afternoon television block gave us its first smash hit, the syndicated masterpiece known as Woohoo Indeed. These intrepid mallards appeared on everything from lunchboxes to video games, even Happy Meals. Then in 1989, the dynamic duo known as Chip and Dale returned to help bust up some bad guys.
Hey, all you bad guys.
What's this?
Disney has a big surprise just for you.
Who are these guys?
They're television's newest heroes, and they're turning out the lights on evildoers everywhere.
Hey, who did that?
It's Chip and Dale along with Gadget, Zipper, and Monterey Jack in Disney's action-packed adventure, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Weekdays. Check local listing for time and channel.
Rescue Rangers introduced several new characters as well. For example, Monterey Jack is an Australian rodent suffering from a strange addiction to cheese. Cheddar, provolone, Gouda, you name it. Monty's sidekick is Zipper the Fly, a spunky little insect wearing a tiny red shirt. The female lead in this series went to an adorable mouse known as Gadget Hackwrench. She's a quirky inventor who loves solving problems. Rescue Rangers has a wonderful rogues gallery as well, and stand up to similar shows like Tailspin or even Darkwing Duck. How many people can actually remember Professor Norton Nimno, or the villainous Fat Cat, or even the time that Chip and Dale took on the Cuckoo Cola Cult?
Come along, you belong. Feel the fizz of Coca-Cola. It's the cola for making you proud. Take another sip and be one of the crowd. Feel the fizz of Coca-Cola.
That was such a catchy song. And speaking of catchy songs, how many of you remember the Rescue Rangers theme song?
Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks.
The Jets were a fun little pop culture phenomenon during the 1980s, having songs appear in Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Karate Kid Part 3. The chiptune version of the Rescue Rangers theme song was pretty outstanding as well. If you were lucky enough to own a Nintendo Entertainment System, you may have also experienced either one of the Chip and Dale video games produced for that system. By the way, they were also outstanding games.
Awesome. Absolutely nuts. Ouch.
Play Disney's Rescue Rangers game for Nintendo by Capcom. Also, look for adventures in the Magic Kingdom.
Yes. It's hot.
You know, the Rescue Rangers would often roam around Disney theme parks as well. I have fond memories of meeting with Chip and Dale decked out in their Rescue Rangers outfits. Chip must have been a huge fan of Indiana Jones, judging from what he was wearing, and Dale, well, he's kind of got a Magnum P.I. aesthetic going on. Over in Disneyland, they had a limited time experience known as Disney Afternoon Avenue. While there, you might visit Scrooge's Vault, hop on a boat to Gummy Glen, or take a spin around in Rescue Rangers Raceway. And you know what? While you're at it, why not take that Autopia car right through the drive-thru at your local McDonald's?
Disney's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers are at McDonald's. And when you buy McDonald's Happy Meal, you'll get one of 4 wonderfully wacky rescue toys, like a propeller phone or a Roto-Roadster. McDonald's Happy Meal.
So let's open up this Happy Meal box and take a step back in time to when you'd get off the school bus and Rescue Rangers would be on the television. As you can see, we have Dale of the Rescue Rangers fame. He is riding around in the Roto-Roadster, a very articulated toy with a little spinner on the back. That's not the only spinner. This thing spins all over the place. We got wheels. We have this helicopter up on the top. And the actual helicopter itself, actually, you can swing this guy around as well. There's so much you can do with this, and I think a lot of the pieces can interchange with one another with some of the toys in this series. But we got Dale. He's one of my favorites, so I'm pretty excited about this figure.
Hey kids, tune in every weekend morning for a half hour of action-packed fun. It's Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers away!
Catch the excitement as Chip and Dale team up as pint-sized crime busters.
Now let's beat it!
It's an all-new exclusive Disney animated series, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
In total, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers had 65 episodes. The characters were so popular, they even received a more permanent attraction at Disneyland.
According to Disneyland legend, Mickey and his friends built this secret hideaway in the 1930s, exclusively for Disney Toons, and have allowed no one other than fellow Toons and Walt Disney himself inside of its gates. That is, until now.
I hereby declare all of us present as honorary citizens of Toontown. You may kiss the city.
It's a brand new land at Disneyland.
In addition to Chip and Dale's Treehouse, you could also take a ride on Gadget's Go Coaster. Both attractions still exist today in Mickey's Toontown. Now fast forward to 2017. The DuckTales reboot is getting a ton of love, and fans are starting to get super nostalgic about their favorite Disney afternoon television shows all over again. The Rescue Rangers even cameoed on an episode of the new DuckTales series.
Thanks for the rescue.
Now, in 2022, Chip, Dale, and the entire crew return to solve an all-new mystery over 30 years after the Rescue Rangers first premiered. This time, Andy Samberg will be voicing Dale, while Chip will be voiced by John Mulaney, which is super exciting, especially if you're a fan of Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Ham was incredible, and Mulaney was perfect casting. But I don't know. What do you all think? Have you seen the new Rescue Rangers film, and what do you think? Also, what's your favorite series in the Disney afternoon block? Tell us all about it. I want to hear about it in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click that like button on the way out and subscribe to Retro Spectrum so you don't miss a single episode of McDonald's Unboxed.